Hi, I'm Miro. I'm a TNT champion.
This is Rachel Ellerine, the queen of Strong Smile.
I'm Eric Bischoff.
Live events, all right? When the WWE comes on the holiday tour, when they come to Ireland.
Or Davy Boy without hair braids.
As a fan with braids, as a dog without braids.
And you
are watching
WrestleSlam.
WrestleSlam.
And you're watching WrestleSlam.
Welcome everybody to a very special AEW episode of WrestleSlam, the only place for your news, reviews, booze, and Ruby Soho. Guys, have you come down out of the rafters yet after Dynamite Grand Slam?
It was pretty special. It really was good. It was actually the first show since 1980 that had over 20,000 fans in New York. That wasn't like, even WWE haven't had it because WrestleManias were in like New Jersey.
Yeah. There's no venues really in New York that have that kind of capacity. You know, MSG doesn't have 20,000. It's 15, 16,000 with the set. So there's nowhere else really in New York City, in the boroughs anywhere that have a big stadium like that. So fair play to fucking AEW for getting Arthur Ashe Stadium. And that's going to be a long-term thing. The way things are going, they're going to be once a year now, there at least.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. Great move on their behalf. Like, were you wired after it, Mick?
I came down, it was a great show, it was. But I did come down from the rafters before the end of the show. I mean, like, who can argue that opening match? I mean, Jesus Christ. I love the show. I think there were some problems with the show. I'm not sure if the running order of the matches was the best, but overall, brilliant Dynamite. Not the best ever Dynamite, but up there.
I reckon they started with the match so that we wouldn't be like, oh, there's 5 minutes left.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly. They could end it either way. Like if they ended the show with that match, and that ran over TV time, like they could have just said TV time remaining with a half an hour to go, like, and they could have easily ended it that way either way. Like could have gone either way, like, but it was still it was always going to be hard to match that. Like every match after that was living up to that. That was the hype.
Definitely. So, well, before we get into the madness, this is a very, very brand new first episode of WrestleSlam, which will be up on our new YouTube channel for all your wrestling content. So if you have not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Get over and subscribe straight away. Or you can follow us also on Twitter at Salam Wrestling, Instagram, and Facebook.
You can watch all our old episodes on Sports Matters. There'll be content on Sports Matters as well. Just WrestleSlam will be specifically on the new WrestleSlam YouTube channel going forward.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you, twins.
Hey, I'm sorry now. Twinning is winning. That's it. It is twinning is winning.
Thank you, postwoman.
I know, yeah. God bless her, Belinda. She's a great bit of stuff.
Male person, as you say.
Yeah, let's not open that can of worms. We've a lot to get through. All right. Grand job. So moving swiftly on, guys, straight in. They nearly took us all out with the opener. I don't think anybody thought that Bryan Danielson and Kenny would be opening the show. So I think everybody, when JR kind of went, it's next, and we all were like, it's what? What? Hang on, I'm not ready. I haven't prepared myself. I am not ready. I don't think we could have been. No matter what stage of the night it was on, I don't know if we could have been ready for this. Before I ask you guys, I have to say, hand on my heart, I have never seen Bryan Danielson. I keep calling him Daniel Bryanson. Right? Bryan Danielson. I have never seen him look so good. Honestly, when he came out, I was like, he's so lean and just ripped to shit. For somebody of his stature, he looked the best I've ever seen him. I have to say, I was like, oh my God, he looked unbelievable. He's definitely cut or dropped weight for sure. Tell me, it was two of the best wrestlers in the world, allegedly, going head to head. Phil, did it live up to the hype?
Yes, it did.
But yeah, were you happy with it?
It's the best match I've seen in probably, as a singles match, no, but the best probably 3 years more.
In AEW or overall?
Just overall. On American TV. Like,
On a one-on-one match?
Yeah.
Just TV, not pay-per-view, or?
Just everything.
Oh my God.
Just because like me and my brother were watching it and we were like, check how long's gone there, and he's like, oh, there's 30-something minutes gone. I was like, no way.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it, did it? That's a bold statement there from Phil Mexer. Mick, what did you think of it?
Jeez, man, I was blown away by it. I mean, and like, how could you not? How could you not be? It was always going to live up to that expectations. It's the two best wrestlers of their generation going up against each other, in an opening match for Dynamite in an Arthur Ashe Stadium. It was always going to live up the hype. And you know what? What's so beautiful about it is that there's so much more they can still do with each other in that ring. You know, which I think is kind of indicative that it's going to be a little bit more between them. They're definitely going to run it back multiple times, and how can't they? I thought, as you said, Bryan Danielson looked amazing. Yeah. It was probably the best. It's probably the best match I've ever seen him wrestling. I think it's probably Kenny Omega's best match since Okada. There was a lot of, like, the way it built throughout was very good. Started slow, gradually getting quicker and quicker. Some of the spots that Bryan Danielson was taking were just ridiculous. I mean, that top rope dragon suplex. Like, I know he flipped over for it. He didn't take it the same way Okada did on the back of the head, but bloody hell, that looked bad. And the back suplex from the top, where he looked like he hurt his arm. You know, that running V trigger from the ramp. You know,
I think that started yesterday. I think he started running for that yesterday. I was like, oh my God, he's going to die. Phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, you can go on and on about the different stuff they did in it. It was just absolutely brilliant. I just think that the rest of the card suffered from this being so good. You know, it's the only thing. That's the only thing I would say about almost the entire night. The only drawback I would say is that everything else suffered, because this was just so good. Probably one of the best, maybe the best opening match to any event since maybe Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle. I think it even topped that, you know, from SummerSlam 2002. It probably even topped that. But yeah, 5 stars for sure.
I think it was the best opening match since Daniel Bryan Triple H at WrestleMania 30.
Ooh,
I don't know about that. I think it's definitely.
And do you know what as well? AEW have started a lot of their shows very, very strong. Yeah. So we were surprised, but in a way, I suppose in hindsight, we shouldn't have been, you know, but I just don't think that. I think if anything, we would have thought, oh, they're going to open with the women or something like that, you know, but the fact that it was that match, I think everyone was invested from the start. Tell me, love, the ending, were you happy with it, and where do we go from here?
I was more happy with it than the live crowd seemed to be, because they didn't seem, there may have been a bit of audio issue with Justin Roberts, because when he was announcing the time remaining, it wasn't very clear at all. It was just more of a mumble in the background, and I don't think the live audience even heard it. So when they rang the bell, I don't think they were expecting it. Even though I know on the hard camera side, there is a clock above the hard camera, so the people on that side can see the clock counting down, but even at that, they were surprised, because they were so focused on the match, they weren't looking at the time on the clock. But you could see during the match, Omega and Brian kept looking up at the clock to see how much time they had left. You know, subtle little glances up at it. You could see that they were like, what else have we left to do? We can do this, 5 minutes remaining. Well, let's get a few pinfalls out of the way. But I think it's going to be a while before they go at it again. I don't think.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
I think it'll be
the February.
I don't even know if the title will be on the line the next time they go at it. I think Omega might be champion the next time they have a match.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely think Omega will lose it before they go at it again. Like,
he's got to lose it to Hangman, surely.
Yeah. If they are going to have a match, they don't need the title. They proved last night the title wasn't on the line. They had a brilliant match. There's no reason why he can't drop the title. Maybe Brian costs him the title, or they have a 60-minute Iron Man match. You know, somewhere down the line, and it just they have a whole episode of Rampage. Just them having a 60-man Iron Man match. Imagine the viewers Rampage would get
my
that
God.
one episode of just that match.
Yeah.
Like, phenomenal.
Jerry here, man. Booker J.
Booker J, we need to call you Booker G. Booker G.
Booker G.
We're changing your name to Booker G. Oh, I love it. Oh, Booker G.
Oh, amazing.
Obsessed. Booker G. Amazing. Okay, Booker G. Brilliant.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
So with that, moving on from that, guys, we had a promo from this man here, not Booker G, but from CM Punk himself. Just kind of running them out a little bit, warming the crowd a little bit. Not too long, thankfully. You know, his promos seem to be just kind of like to the point, couple of minutes, and he's gone again because we don't. What?
It was fire though.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, totally, it was, definitely. It's just, again, to keep the crowd going because, as you say, strong opening, hard to keep their attention and keep them going after that. So I can see why they would have brought him out because, as you say, any match would have suffered. So at least he kind of got him ready for what was coming. And he's looking forward to his match with Powerhouse Hobbs on Rampage. So looking forward to seeing that too. Following that, guys, we had MJF and Brian Pillman. Now, with this match, big shout out to Mammy MJF with her sign saying she knows that her son sucks. So we love that. We love Mammy MJF. Go on, Mammy. Like just upping the heel ante for MJF hugely. Phil, what did you think of MJF winning this?
I just think this whole thing, as Mick was saying earlier, just kind of fell off a cliff almost. Your man himself is not very good, Brian Pillman. He does nothing for me at all. I was saying to my brother,
you wouldn't want to be soft around Phil, would you? He would cut you at words.
We were talking about it, and he was like, for who his name is and who his value is, he just comes across as soulless, I suppose. There's nothing.
Jesus.
I find nothing.
That's dark, man.
That's deep. Cut me real deep.
I actually think that he should probably, they don't really loan for this, but he should be on Impact or something just to get more ring time or something. There's just something about him I can't get up. I can't.
Not clicking for you.
Are you comparing him to his dad?
No, I'm not. I don't know. It's just his name value. People just think that he's over the top. I don't know.
I think it's going to take time. What age is he? 22, 23?
Yeah.
Still young, isn't he? I suppose.
He's fresh enough in the business. Like he's got a lot to live up to with his dad's name being Brian Pillman Jr. And I mean, if they weren't using his Brian Pillman Jr. name and he was just somebody else, and you know the way certain other companies like they remove people's associations with their family, like and
what?
Sometimes I've heard.
He's a Steiner.
But I'm saying like in his case, if he's like people are comparing him to his dad, like maybe a name change may actually help him when they're not comparing him to somebody like his dad.
Maybe it was the whole thing with these Hollywood blondes and it's just too similar.
Okay. I can see that. Do you agree, Mick? Do you think this is where it kind of fell flat a little bit? I mean, it wasn't awful, but it just maybe kind of fell flat a little bit.
I mean, you could book any match after Danielson and Omega and was going to fall flat. You know, it wouldn't have mattered who went there. On Pillman Jr., you know, he's a serious callback to like the late 80s, early 90s style of wrestling. You know, he's got the fucking hair and the theme music, everything about him, you know. But that I think in this day and age in wrestling, that's only ever going to get you so far. Yeah. And that's the problem with him. He suffers from the character he plays as well as, you know, the things that Phil mentioned. You know, as a match itself, it was fine. He does certain things quite well. I mean, like when he gets a near fall, he's great expressions in his face, which makes him seem very sympathetic, and I like that about him. The Flying Brian moniker doesn't work with me. He's not flying enough to be Flying Brian.
I think it's
like driving at a safe speed, Brian.
The mullet needs to go. The mullet needs to go.
Yeah. Well,
I think he needs a change.
Yeah, but MJF was the star of this match. You know, he carried a lot, and you know he's you know, I think the thing we should take away out of it is that MJF still looks strong, which he needed to do after that big loss against Jericho. So that was good.
Yeah, I think as well that what you were both saying, definitely, and we were kind of chatting as well. Like, it was great to get so many eyes, I suppose, on Brian Pillman because he was being put across as such a face. But I'm worried that he, as you said, Mick, that he's a face in the late 80s, early 90s. He's not a face now because faces are very, very different now. And I'm not sure now, the two options. One, put him in the ring with others who can help develop, because all the elements are there. It's just we need to get him into a bowl and we need to mix them to make the cake. You know, everything is there. I don't know, does he need to go in with maybe some stronger workers? Like, I mean, I know MJF is considered like a locker room leader there and things like that. But does he need to go in with the likes of Jericho? Does he need to team up with him maybe? Does, you know, that kind of a way, someone with just that little bit more experience and just show him how to nurture everything he has? Or the flip side, turn him an absolute heel.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of one or the other way.
I don't know if he'll go heel. I could see them having him win the One Heart Cup thing that they're launching.
Ooh, maybe.
Because he did have the picture with him and Owen Hart when he was a baby, like, and it may be something they're going to look into because, you know, being the Hart Foundation and Pillman's association with Owen Hart, so it may be something where maybe he'll get to the final or something and maybe either win or lose the final. But I think he'll end up being the go-to person for that kind of cup.
But no Bret Hart to give him a rub then as well.
Well, exactly. If Bret Hart
can
comes out
see
and
that
he wins,
happening.
like, you know, and he helps him, or not helps him win, but he hands him the trophy and celebrates with him. Like, it might be something for him. You know, maybe let him, you know, lift him up a bit. But other than that, like, that's pretty much all they're going to do.
The thing is, if you want to get sympathetic heat on him, take Julia Hart and turn on him.
This, you know what I mean? There has to be something. It'll be interesting to see where this goes from here. I'm not really sure where it's going to go with Pillman. I don't know. I don't think this is over. I think there might be a little bit of kind of, you know, a little bit of, I was going to use a comparison there, but it's a bit too vulgar, so I won't. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's that little bit that hangs on, right? So I'm kind of thinking that there's still a little bit there with this, you know, and how it's going to go. Best way I can do it. Moving on from that, guys, the muscles in my ass just done this. Listening, I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point. Look, I'm not just telling people that's what's going on at the moment. I'm getting there, right? But it might be. I'm doing my clenches. Anyway, right? When Cody Rhodes came out. Awkward! I was just like, do you know what I mean? When your skin is just crawling because the boos were fucking deafening. I mean, if there was ever a doubt that he was going to win this match, or it was ever in the stars that he was scheduled to win this match, I'm hoping that somebody called an audible, because dear Jesus. But thankfully didn't. I mean, Malachi Black came out looking ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's the whole presence. It's the entrance. It's the look. It's the extending of the face. It's amazing. And then Cody came out and I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, where do I look? Don't look at it. Tell me, dear, were you happy that Malachi Black won? Because you were concerned at the weekend.
I'm glad he won. I'm not happy the way he won with the black mist and fucking the surprise roll up. Like, you know, if he's surprised, you know, he spat in his face with blackness, why didn't he just give him a black mass and knock him out? Like, why did he need a surprise roll up to beat him? Like, he doesn't need a surprise roll up to beat anybody. Like, it's Malachi fucking Black. Like, but Cody, Cody. They need to turn him heel. He said in an interview during the week that he said he would retire before he turns heel, but after last night, he came out dressed like fucking Homelander from The Boys, and it was just, maybe he's got it. They're going to do this character where he still thinks he's a face, but he's an actual heel. Maybe he deluded. Like, maybe that interview was maybe a storyline that he thinks he's a face, but everybody's going to boo him anyway. Like, so that's the Homelander way. Homelander thinks everybody loves him. Like, in the background, he's fucking butchering people. Like, so, do something like that.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it might be a double turn, like, but it wasn't a double turn in the ring, but it was a double turn outside the ring because everybody cheered Malachi and booed him. So
definitely. Even like, something like, as you were saying, like with Cody, he to him is a face, and everyone else, obviously it's apparent he's like a huge heel in everyone else's eyes because it's just how we all feel about it. But even like, when like Kurt Angle was like your Olympic hero and he thought he was the best thing in the whole world, but we all fucking hated him. Loved to hate
It
him.
works, though.
Look how well that worked. And we still chant you suck with the utmost respect and admiration for this man, you know. He won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, you know. Respect is due. So it'd be cool to see something like that.
And the thing is, when he goes full on heel, then he should actually go for the world title and completely render his
Rip up the fucking contract.
Yeah.
Fucking.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he could play up the whole, authority gimmick then, like he's the boss, like, he's he could turn on Tony Khan, like, and have a feud with Tony, like, and bring Tony more into
That's what they're missing at the moment, is they don't have a hook.
Yeah. But they had Hook, he's on Team Taz.
Yeah, do you think that maybe, this is slightly off tangent, but that's a really, really good point what you were saying there about Tony Khan, because he's come out during the week and openly said that he doesn't want to be an on-screen character, what I actually quite like, because you get sick of seeing the Vinces, and then you do. So with that said, are we missing a GM for AEW, or are we good?
I think we're good.
Nah, we're good for GMs.
I think so too. I don't think, as soon as the show starts, we are boom straight into a match.
Yeah.
There's no pandering. There's no woohoo, woohoo. None of this. It's straight into a match. So, Jesus, glad you all said that. So I know I are it. But so
it would be more subtle things for Cody Rhodes if he was to do it.
It would be. I think it's an organic heel. It is an organic heel turn. It's natural now. It should be. You know what I mean? It's a clear path for him. It should be, absolutely. And it now opens Malachi Black to other opponents. It will come to a natural end, as opposed to this back and forth shit for ages. You're bait now, Cody. Go on.
And
I can see Cody turning on Arn Anderson.
I hope Arn Anderson's
because
they fell off the apron.
Yeah, I mean, Arn was a massive hindrance throughout that entire match,
Oh my god!
I can envision a scenario where maybe in the next match, maybe the match after that, Cody, to get his confidence back, he'll go against someone like a Daniel Garcia and he'll fucking lose because of Arn Anderson. He's just gonna kick Arn in the dick or something,
and he'd actually destroy his son then as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, you heard it here first at WrestleSlam, Phil. We love that. If we went over Arn's son, unreal, wouldn't it be?
Could happen.
Yeah, I like that.
They could turn on the Nightmare Family altogether, right?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's exciting.
It's not like they're doing anything on TV. They're all dark and they're all training, so.
Yeah. Nice way to showcase him, I think, as well. Putting him straight in with Cody, unreal. That's such a nice rub for him. Going on from that, we had FTR in NWO gear. So we had a whole lot of black and white telestatic going on in the ring, facing Sting and Darby Allin. When Sting was in the ring, I think the match was booked well from that standpoint, that what we saw of Sting in the ring was good, and he wasn't overly used, and the fact that he was tagged in when the crowd started chanting for him, so I thought that was pretty cool as well. Phil, were you a fan of this match?
Yeah, the crowd actually they seem to come alive again during this one.
Yes.
So I don't know where Sting gets his energy though. Just every time these matches.
Oh lads, Jesus Christ. What a man.
He's awesome.
Yeah, unbelievable. About 142, I'd say. He's
60 something, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is in his 60s. It's scary. Honestly, I crack when I bend down to pick something up.
When you think about it now, he's maybe 20 years older than Hogan was when he joined the NWO, WCW. Hogan was 42 or something when that happened. And now Sting is 62, and Hogan looked like a fucking geriatric back then. He looked really old, from his whatever steroids he was abusing or whatever he was up to. He looked ancient, and Sting is 20 years older to the day. And
I just hope that when all this is said and done, that Darby Allin is the star out of it all.
Yeah.
I think Darby's already the star of it all.
If he starts,
I think that crowd reaction, Darby's crowd reaction compared to almost anyone else on that night was, apart from maybe Danielson and Omega. Apart from them two, I think he got the biggest pop of the night. He's a draw.
Darby's a big ass of AEW, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. He's just so natural,
Yeah, he's star written all over him. There's nothing but big things coming from him in the future. and that's regardless of what he does with Sting now.
Yeah, and they're only scratching the surface with Darby Allin. Now he's really only coming into it. I wouldn't even say he's coming into his prime. They're only literally scratching the surface with him. I mean, God knows his possibilities are endless. You know, we've no idea what's coming next out of the bag for him. Do you know that kind of way, which is really, really cool. You know, the last you could call him is predictable.
Imagine Bryan Danielson and Darby Allin.
Oh, unreal. Do you know what I mean? Especially with Pete, because Brian fucking Danielson came out last night, and he's at like 180, 182. You know, I mean, he's small enough in stature, but he definitely wasn't weighing in like that. I don't think at WWE. I was quite surprised. Maybe a bit of a controversial opinion. Presuming this is going to go to a rematch or some kind of another match for FTR to get some kind of a rub out of this.
Yeah,
they got to get something out of it.
But it looks like they've changed a lot of stuff as well because of Ric Flair.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. I suppose, yeah.
We just say as well that FTR looked fucking great in this match.
Yeah.
I know they look great in every fucking match, but they're always great in every match. But they were, you know, they did Sting a great service in this match. I really thought.
Big time.
Big time.
And that coffin drop at the end off the.
Oh man.
The hardest part of the ring.
Part of the ring. Yeah. Yeah. But it did. You're right. Their chemistry is ridiculous. It was so smooth, and there was no like. You know, it just ran so well. So huge dibs to FTR. Massive fans.
Do we think that Darby and Sting might get a tag team title shot?
I'd love to see it. I wouldn't say no to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, just for Phil, I'd love if Lucha Brothers became, or not Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express. Those two members came tag team titles, and then they took it off them, just to wind Phil up that little bit.
I still think they're going to win the trios belts.
Do you?
Yeah, I think
they probably will, Phil, to be fair. So
Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
Really?
It might
Super
do.
click.
Yeah.
Super click.
Yeah. Oh well, come here, lads. We're heading into that now in a second. To be fair, rolling on from FTR and Sting and Darby Allin. Main eventing, Britt Baker and Ruby Soho. Amazing to see the women headlining and main eventing. Super happy about that, you know. Love lifts the women's division up where it belongs. Super happy about that. Because when other women's divisions in other promotions, shall we say, that shall remain nameless on this AEW episode, are not looking in their best light. To elevate the women to the main event, I think is the right call, especially with two people who are so over. Devastated to see that Ruby's hair is red. No, Britt's hair is red. Ruby, keep the orange. But anyway, it's okay. We'll get over it. I think it's fair to say that nobody really lost here. You know, like Britt didn't lose the title, but Ruby, you know, there were shenanigans. We love them going on in that match. But tell me, darling, were you a fan of this match?
I was for most part of it. There was a lot of, you know, bits here and there that were still need to be worked out. It could have been a better match. Like it wasn't either. There were best matches. Like, but I'm presuming they, you know, maybe she'll get a rematch. I don't know. AEW don't do a lot of rematches, like, but with the interference, maybe she'll get a rematch. But so there's some of the spots in it were crazy, like the outside off the outside rope on the outside, the swinging neck breaker was sick looking.
Ooh, yeah.
But you know, fair play to them. They got it back at the end because the crowd were in and out of the match. Like they were hot at the start, and they kind of died down a bit, and then they got them back towards the end. Like so, you know, it's good way to end the show. Like,
yeah.
What you're saying there about the crowd being lost as well, and to be honest with you, as a viewer, and I wasn't there in person, I was there in person, I would have just lost my shit altogether. But as a viewer, commentary lost me on this match because there was a lot of silence during this match. They didn't know what to say, and then it kind of came to light, and I knew the match was ending. When they started to come to life again, I knew the match was ending. I knew that something was going on, but there was a lot of like dead air there while that was going on. Phil, are you happy with the finish?
I knew it was going to be. I thought Nyla Rose was going to attack her, but I knew it was going to be dodgy. There's no other way. There's nothing you can't have her lose, and you can't have Soho lose clean. So
no,
it's a lose in that way.
Definitely. It only strengthens Brit's character development.
Yeah, I
as
reckon
well.
that she'll be fighting Thunder Rosa in some sort of maybe a ladder match at Full Gear.
Ooh,
And
maybe.
it would be
I
really
can see
cool
that.
if the ladder had like gears and stuff on it. It would be really cool.
Oh yeah, pedal your way up to the top.
Imagine.
Not even on
Imagine.
not the bits where they're getting on, but even just the little sides.
Oh, remember in Gladiators, that travelator they had to get across to get to the other side.
Yes, oh my God, what was that? The overhead, the
travelator,
bike
yeah,
thing
yeah,
overhead,
fucking-
yeah. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Or like all the parts of the bike are around the ring and they have to put the bike together to get up and be unreal.
It's just
Booker G, get on it. This is what we want, Booker G, get on it.
they'll want to top their last match, so I don't know how they'll do that.
Definitely, to be fair. Mick, were you surprised that Britt retained, or did you think it was a given before the match started?
Oh, she was always going to retain. That was, you know, it was never doubt in my mind it was gonna happen. But I thought it would have been better than that. Okay, like here's the thing. Like Britt Baker is of course awesome. You know, everything from the entrance to her, you know, to her move set, to how slick she is in the ring, amazing. Ruby Soho, you know, yeah, she looked like, I love her style, I love her entrance music by one of my favorite bands, Shota Rancid. This match was disappointing. More so from Ruby Soho's side than from Britt Baker's side, I think. When they got in the ring, it was very clear that Ruby's not on Britt Baker's level. I don't think she's close to her level. You can when Ruby was delivering moves, you know, even just like a scoop slang, it felt like it took forever to execute a move. Whereas with Britt Baker, there was some serious snap, like the power slam she did, serious snap to it, you know. It just like that just made it very clear that no one else on, well, maybe Sheeta, but not a lot of people on are even close to Britt Baker's level. They need to do something drastic.
There's a bit of WWE training for that as well, though.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's a great excuse, though, because she's very, very experienced outside of WWE as well. I don't know, man. It just didn't do it for me.
When's the last time she had a match on TV?
That's it, exactly. I can't.
WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Was she on
Not long after it. Wasn't she in the Tornado tag
match, like, you know, but how long was she actually in the ring in that match for? Like,
not much.
When's the last time Daniel Bryan had a match?
The same time frame.
That's true as well.
But
Do you think?
You can't compare.
To be fair, it's probably not fair to compare the best wrestler of his generation to Ruby Soho. That's pretty unfair of me. Sorry, Ruby.
Oh my God, Jesus!
She had a match on Rampage with Jimmy Hitter. Didn't she?
Yeah,
she did, but that was her first match, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying I couldn't remember last time she had a match, but she actually had a match already in AEW.
Do we think maybe it's nerves?
Could be
nerves. I don't know. It's a third official match in AEW if you include the Battle Royale as well. Like, you know,
I suppose. Do we think that maybe, although it was great to see her come out as the Joker, don't get me wrong, was thrilled to see her come out and get the pop that she did. And again, everything is there. Was it too soon for the title?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably too soon for the title. I just think Britt Baker makes everyone else look bad.
Yeah.
She's so good. I think
that's this is it. You know, go back 12 months with Britt Baker, you're looking at a different wrestler.
But I always think the Battle Royal thing, like, they should be similar to the way the Money in the Bank is done. Is like they have a title shot whenever they want it.
Yeah.
You know, she should be able to use it. She doesn't have to cash it in straight away. Like, you know, even though there's no cash in. Like, but I remember Brian Cage, and he wanted them, or they had the big fucking coin.
Oh yeah.
Nothing, like, you know, and they were cashing that in. Like, so why not give them a title shot whenever they wanted? Like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is true. And you know what as well, even the likes of, do you remember when AJ Styles came out at the Rumble? Like, when he was eliminated, it done him no harm. Now, I know it's AJ Styles and, like, it's Ruby Soho, it's very, very different. But, like, I think if she had a stellar performance in that, but was eliminated, it still would have done her no harm. And the next time she came out, she would have been just as over. Exactly. You know, so maybe we kind of shot her to the moon maybe a little bit too soon. But look, I'm sure she learned from it, you know? And we look forward to seeing her again.
Well, if they do introduce the second women's title, which is the rumor, like they're going to have a new women's title mid card, maybe that give the rest of them a chance because
It's not tag, is it? It's not tag belts.
No, it's going to be it's going to be
the new network that they're going to. They're going to TBS for Dynamite. Rampage is staying on TNT, I believe.
Okay.
So, no harm. We need another women's title, I think. I really do think that we need another women's title. No harm whatsoever. And again, gives that prestige of the artist formerly known as the Intercontinental title when it had that prestige. And then that was your stepping stone to, the higher ups.
Yeah.
So, I think that would be great for the likes of Ruby Soho, the likes of Anna Jay, the likes of Ty Conti to all kind of work towards to get that title and then get some good matches in and move on.
But if they have the TBS titles, shouldn't they just have them on Rampage and not on anything else?
That's the long-term plan.
Yeah, because it's not until I think January that this is all kicking off. So I'd say there's a lot of kind of slots filling at the moment until they get that kind of how it should be. So yeah, guys, that was your Dynamite Grand Slam part 1. And then we have part 2 coming up for Rampage Grand Slam. I was sure I was going to get that wrong, but Rampage Grand Slam. Yeah, so we have a really, really good card that we will go quickly through because we don't have much time left. If I can, let me find my card. Where's my card? Oh, here we go. We have Powerhouse Hobbs and CM Punk. We have Eddie Kingston, John Moxley. We love Eddie Kingston. With Suzuki and Lance Archer. We have the Lucha Brothers and Santana Ortiz versus, is that Private Party? And Butcher and Blade. We also have Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford. Come on, Anna Jay. We have the Super Click, Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. I am living for this match. I cannot wait. It's the one I'm looking forward to on the card. I hope you guys are too. We have the Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page with Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. Turn Jake Hager heel. If you haven't already, as mentioned at the start, please sign up to our new YouTube channel, or WrestleSlam, where you find all of the content. And we will be back in a couple of days' time to go over Rampage Grand Slam and the wrestling events and news of the week. So from myself being Liz, himself being Booker G, from Phil Meltzer, and from the Robert Stone brand down the end, Michael Stone. See you all soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.